We want to welcome you again to our YouTube channel, Soaring Together. And in today's video, we're going to go up our timeline quite a bit because we have a lot of things that we want to show you to come of our travels while we were in Utah and Arizona. So got a lot more adventurous things for you, but like I said, today we're going to move forward and we're going to take you to the Sport Chassis Rally, and this is the Sport Chassis Owners Association International, and this year they did something different.
Well, this year was the 25th anniversary of Sport Chassis, so they got together with the owners group and put together a rally and invited those that could come.
We are Rickey and Denise. We sold everything in 2020 and hit the road to RV full time. We travel in our Freightliner M2 truck, pulling our DRV JX 450 full house that hauls our 2020 Harley Tri-Glide. We invite you to travel along with us as we are soaring together. And later in the video, I spoke with Jeri and Randy Palmer, and they're going to tell you how, if you're a Sport Chassis owner and you want to become a member of the association, just how you can do that.
Well, most of you know, if you've watched the channel at all, we do have M2 106. They make an M2 112, which actually I'm sitting here looking at right now, that Joe has. Sometimes a little envious, but not supposed to be, and really shouldn't be, and I'm not. I'm very thankful that he is. The difference between the two, for the biggest part, is 102 is a small block.
106.
106 is a small block. I got the twos mixed up. And the 112 is a big block. Ours, the 106, is a Class 5 truck, and Joe's is or a 112, excuse me, is a Class 7.
But there were 12 trucks at the rally,
I believe. 13.
12 or 13, and all of those were the 106 except for Joe and Anna's.
Except for Joe
112.
The 112s are more difficult to find because they didn't make as many of the 112s as they did the 106s.
In today's video, we're going to actually take you to the Sport Chassis factory. So that morning we all lined up and convoyed over to the factory.
The reason I'm laughing is it wasn't that day. It wasn't that day we made the wrong turn. We went to the factory right. It was the next time. My bad. She can cut this out. It was the next time we went out that we made the wrong turn.
We're glad you're all here today, and this week I'm the semi-retired CEO of Sport Chassis. We're going to try to show you a good time this week and hope you enjoy beautiful western Oklahoma. It looks like we might have some decent weather. Not too hot, but not too cool and maybe dry. So we're glad you're here. We'll talk more this evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right?
Thank you.
Welcome to Weatherford, Oklahoma. Thank you.
This is Robbie Brown, CFO of Sport Chassis. In the red shirt is Chris Brinkley. He's director of marketing.
I saw that koozie. I was like, man, I gotta get that for my wife.
Without these two guys,
My Karen.
some of these rallies would not happen. The support of Sport Chassis has enabled this club to grow and flourish.
Yeah, you said that. That's me.
These two
That's
guys
me.
right here.
That's me too.
So big thanks to these guys.
Thank you. Today at the Sport Chassis Rally, we are going over to the Sport Chassis factory and taking a tour. And some are going to leave their trucks for some work that they want, some cosmetic work they want done on them. And so we are getting ready to convoy out of Wanderlust RV Resort. Just want you all to see this convoy of Sport Chassis.
Yeah, we lined up and went to the factory, had a tour, had lunch, got to meet some folks that work there.
And if you own a Sport Chassis and you haven't been to the Sport Chassis factory, it is in Clinton, Oklahoma. And all of the Sport Chassis actually were built there. So if you own one, that's where it was built. They take those Freightliner trucks and modify the bed.
Well, basically what they do is take a chassis truck, pretty much strip it down, and the interior, they put their interiors in it, and they do build a bed for them, which is aluminum, which makes it much lighter. We all laugh. There is a box in the back, which I think is humorous, but I do understand why it's there.
If you own a Sport Chassis truck, listen very closely.
If
You have an 800-pound concrete block
well, or sometimes they put metal in, but most of the time they put
in the
concrete.
back of your bed.
Yeah, and that's to keep it, because it's so light when you're bobtailing that you just don't bounce all over the place. And we've bobtailed quite a bit, and we don't have any issue with it. But we laugh because most of the time, well, I'd say most of the time, a lot of folks will actually take that out if they don't bobtail a lot, because that's 800 pounds of carrying capacity or whatever you want.
But if you do take it out and then you do drive the truck with nothing hooked up to it,
well, it could get a little what I'd call squirrely.
Squirrely.
But it's all good.
M2 Sports Chassis Rally. I liked going to the factory and being able to make a request for some parts. They had them right there, and they took great care of everything that I needed and wanted. Super deal.
Anybody got any short answer questions? While we're waiting on our
I got one.
Yeah.
On the AC cooling, if we turn those, is it for sure if we turn those two valves, it stops the water going from the heater cool and it'll provide better cooling, or it just stops it from
It's
going
the
to the
same
water?
coolant, it's just that the heat's not flowing in there and heating the cab up.
So the heat wouldn't flow through and heat through
Yeah,
the heater
it still
core?
flows through the heater core, yeah.
Okay, excellent. I'm turning mine off.
Show me that valve.
I'd be happy to. Somebody showed me.
Yeah, they're pretty similar. There's a couple of differences on what.
But once you know what side to look on, it makes
But
sense.
yeah, there's two valves, and if it's in line, it's on, right? And if it's sideways, it's off like a normal one.
We typically build 2 to 3 trucks a week, comes off our line, and 70% of our trucks are already retail sold through our dealer network. So something comes offline, and either the dealer's picking it up or we're driving it out to our dealer to get a truck delivered. So that's why we don't really have anything brand new to show you. But when we come back through, we'll walk the assembly line. You can see some of the trucks being built. One of the things that Alan mentioned is we're starting to do this LH3 project. So about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we were going through a update with Daimler with our dealer agreement. And at that time we decided that it was best not to actually renew our dealer agreement, because part of the dealer agreement means that we can only build on freight liners. And we know that we need to expand the company and grow, and everything we do here is for the employees, so we need to grow our company. That gave us the ability to start building on Fords and Dodges or whatever. So the first project for our light duty hauler was a Ford F450. And we chose the F450 for a couple reasons. One, on an F550 you get a D-rated engine. Compared to the other trucks, the puck system is pretty spectacular. There's a lot of good things with the F450. Ford trucks are like the #1 duty truck in the country, and there's a lot of good things that we get with the F450. Not going with the F550 or like a cab chassis setup, you get a better interior. So pretty much every truck so far that we've built in the LH3 has been a platinum or better interior. There's been a couple of areas, I think. And then we design, and you can look at the bed here in a minute, we designed our F350, our F450 bed with LH3 to plug and play into the Ford system. So you get all the cameras, you get all the safety systems, you get everything. And one of the things our competitors do is they just cut that wiring. You get fault codes, and you lose sensors, and you lose cameras. So we fixed all of that. Plus it's all plug and play into the actual Ford mounts for your bed. You get the truck system, you get all the Ford towing, and Ford spent $1 billion trying to figure out how to do this puck system. So it's a really great deal for anyone who's looking for a lighter duty hauler. So this is where we start the process of building a bed. We buy custom extrusions. This is actually a custom extrusion. It's got, it's not just a typical aluminum tubing. We thinned up the wall a little bit, put ribs in there, and then put this big rib, which gives it strength and cuts down on weight. And then this big rib also helps give a more grab to a screw if we were to put a screw through it. So we have a high-speed saw over there. So we buy 20 or 24-foot sticks. We got a program that will cut all the different sizes, and then it comes in here, and the guys have this jig, and they'll jig up the bed, and they'll weld it all together. This is the part that actually bolts down to the outriggers on your frame. So we have a proprietary way with a rubber puck. So the bed mounts to that rubber puck, and so the bed can move independently of your cab and your frame, and it reduces a lot of stress on the bed. So this is obviously a tank cover. This tank cover is actually made of one piece of aluminum. It gets cut on the CNC. They etch it where it gets bent, it goes through the bends, they bend it up, and then they come in here and they'll weld on the sides and some different parts. But really, that's how we get this shape. And a lot of people think this is actually a fiberglass, but it's 100% aluminum cut and bent to this spec. And then you can see where we're doing the new fuel door goes over that hole right there. But typically on a bed, the skin of the bed is not welded to the frame anymore. We use what's called 3M VHB, stands for very high bond. It's a double-sided tape, and we actually attach the skin of the bed to the frame with that tape. And once that bond happens, that piece of aluminum is never coming off your frame. They actually build buildings with it now. So a lot of your like downtown high-end skyscrapers, the glass is applied to the building with that same type of tape. And once it's on, that's it. It's never coming off. I don't know, you may have noticed it if you ever look at the bed, you might be able to see it underneath there. But it's all 100% waterproof, that tape. It's some pretty spectacular stuff. So we converted from those ovals to these slice. It gives a little cleaner look. We radius the corner, 90-degree radius. We added some extra step. We enclosed the headache rack. Probably the next step is we're going to figure out a way to put sport chassis and backlight it in the headache rack. But this actually is infrared heat. So once they bring whatever they're going to paint in, they'll paint it, prime it, and then they bake it. And it's a 3-step process. So we clean the bed up. They do seam seal and some stuff. They bring it in here, they prime it, they bake it. They bring the bed back out. They check it, sand the bad parts down. They'll bring it in again, prime it again, bring it back out, check it one more time, and then they'll bring it in and they'll actually paint the color. So it's a 3-step process. If you're familiar with how they paint cars, it's called wet on wet. They just do it all at one time. We actually have to dry the paint in between each application. So once the truck comes out of paint, they'll bring it over here to do a final inspection and buff it. So we got some extra lights in here so they can get a really good look at the paint quality. As you can see, they're inspecting some parts now. This is the new fender for the LH5 and 7s. We got away from the stainless steel fender to give our truck a little bit more of a, I would say, a sporty look or a different look than our competitors. So we actually designed this all in-house. We pull it from plastic. They prep it and prime it here and get it prepared to go on the truck. About 10 years ago, Daimler came to us and said, hey, we need a better option for extra AC in the cab. So we actually developed this thing called the Cab Comfort, which plugs into your AC system, adds an extra blower and some extra coolant, and it mounts up underneath the cab. So all the trucks now come with that pretty much standard.
Underneath the cab?
Yeah, it's in the passenger back corner. That it mounts up underneath the cab.
So you can have that.
Probably.
You can have it installed on the oval.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, how far back? What model years can we install cab comforts on?
Any M2, I think. Yeah.
I thought so.
Any and every M2.
So if you wanted an extra adder for air conditioning, this is a good option. And so we have to actually tear your interior out to do it, but we put new piping in.
Okay, the best thing I liked about the Sport Chassis Rally, I really, like Jody, enjoyed very much going to the factory tour.
So we're here today with Randy and Jeri Palmer, and they are president and treasurer, husband and wife,
Yes.
of the Sport Chassis Owners Association International. So tell us how our viewers could become a member.
If they give me a call at area code 618-727-2564, I can get their email and send them all the information that they need, or they can email me at jlpalmer50@gmail.com, and I can send them that information and give me their email address so I can email it to them. And our special that included jackets is now ending, so if they see that promotion, it is ended. But we do offer a free year membership for our new members, and to start out you can join for the free membership. Our yearly dues is $25. It includes an emblem right now and some flags, but that may change in the near future. So if they could contact me, I'd be happy to fill them in on any information.
Okay, and we're here for the rally here in Oklahoma. We've already toured the Sport Chassis factory.
Yes.
And Jeri has taken us to museums, and we have a lot of other interesting places to go visit.
Next year's rally will not be in Clinton. It will be at another location that has yet to be decided. So.
We will keep you updated on that.
Yes. Thank you.
And lots of like-minded people with the same rigs, learning all about different things.
Talking about your trucks.
Yeah, talking about our rigs, our trucks.
And on the other side, you step on that heavy plate there and really get up there.
Okay.
This here tower's about
So
the
that's
limit.
bolted and it's a step.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat.
Instead of having to go all the way to the
Well,
bumper.
Ricky probably steps up
Steps on the bumper,
Yeah.
And I do too. I step there and I step on the tar and the bumper.
Randy has some kind of step that
Lays
clips
over
over
the
the tire.
Oh, okay.
And another thing I just got the other day, I was telling Randy about it. Okay, it's a bleacher, an aluminum bleacher, 15 foot long. Instead of a walk board or a walk
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
12 inches wide, weighs about 8-10 pounds.
Yeah.
I put a ladder here and a ladder there and you run it right across there.
Yeah, aluminum
Yeah.
bleacher seat.
Yeah.
The window visors.
Yes, the window visors.
Oh, I wondered if those would help.
Yeah, we like it.
They do.
You know, like if it's a cool day and it's raining, we just roll them down.
Oh, yeah, you've got them on all four windows.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I don't
Good
know.
idea.
Yeah.
And did you order those through Freightliner?
No, those can't. You can get those at one of them truck dealers.
Okay.
One of them truck places
Home
that sell
places.
custom parts. You just get them in mats. You can get the mats. And them, like I said, them mats that I put in the boxes, got them from Harbor Freight for $8.99. And I did the 2 side boxes with one of them.
Yeah.
If you cut them right, you can use the other 2 pieces for the back boxes.
You ain't riding with the big dogs. Stay on the porch.
Hey, that guy left that on there. It was on there when I bought it,
on
and I never took it off.
Oh, the license
That license
plate. Yeah,
plate.
I saw that.
The guy
We
bought
left it on there.
A lot of them change colors.
Yeah.
That's a redneck in
That's a Freightliner. That's easy though. That's Freightliner.
So what year model is your truck?
08.
08. Seems like there's a lot of 7s and 8s and 9s.
Talk about the glory years, huh?
Yeah, really.
7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, how hard is it to remove this?
You know what?
cover?
It seems hard, right?
Yeah.
It's
I'll show you. Yeah. This is like magic.
Really?
Yeah.
not hard at all.
See it now?
It's just sitting right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Plug and play, huh?
No.
Yeah. Oh, it's right here.
Yeah, right there. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Just plugs in.
Yeah, if I can do it, anybody can. Now, the only problem with mine, though, is like I said, I changed, but and got the Peterbilts and put on mine, so I had to hardwire mine.
Hardwire.
Hardware.
Place.
No, I ordered them. I changed all of mine on my running boards.
Yeah.
They're the oval like that, but they'll change colors.
His are different too, Ricky.
Huh?
His
just had to put on.
Yeah.
That's the new ones the factory's putting on.
Put them on yesterday.
It just slaps the 2008 right out of the truck.
Those are
It really
sharp.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the new headlights.
Oh yeah.
Check out those lights.
Oh yeah, that's.
Those are sharp.
Oh yeah.
And then what are you running for? What are you running for pressure in your front? Steers.
I run 90 on all of them. I had it weighed, and that's what they recommended was 90
Tire
pounds of
size
pressure.
and all. You got 75s or 80s? You got 80s. I don't know why somebody put 75s on mine. But I didn't look, put 75s back.
Oh, you put it just replace them.
I didn't look on the door. I just figured that's what come on.
I was running 105, and then Joe and I started talking one night, and then I dropped mine to 90, and went for a drive, and it was okay, and then I went to 85. That's it. It just moved right out the ride.
Now you got 95.
I'm 295, 75.
Yeah, he's got the big tire.
Yeah.
I like those.
I do too. It feels real solid.
Unless one of mine blows out, I won't never have to put another tire on mine.
Can't roll with the big dogs. Stay on the porch, Ricky.
Got the pipes running down there.
And then he's got a turnbuckle in the back to squeeze it to hold it together.
So you don't have to put any holes in anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about now.
That's just to keep birds out at home.
Good idea. We had a couple that I had to put a towel in there finally because they kept
For
going
his
in.
flag. And then there's his light that will shine up on his flag.
And it's always got power going to the breakaway switch. So you hook onto that one wire, and it's always got power there. So you light your switch, you can put a switch on it, whatever.
Yeah. Cool.
We used to put it on the ladder. But so many times you back into the trees and it can't be seen.
Right.
Or it's in the back of your campsite.
Yeah.
So that's why he put that up.
Mounted it here.
Hitch.
Well, that's a neat mount. You have a fan.
And it just going down the road, it pull this air and kind of help people in the back seat. It won't be as cold probably, but they say it makes a difference. It's
Helps.
not for me because I never ride back there.
Yeah, helps to circulate it in the cab.
Circulates there.
Because we don't have vents back here.
No, and this is a 2-speed fan. You buy them on Amazon, about 16 bucks. Rotate anywhere you want them, directional, whatever.
Right.
And it just kind of helps pull this air conditioner back to the passengers a little bit.
Yeah. So she added the footstool.
Yes.
I guess because she's short, her legs
Yeah.
are short.
When she's sitting up high, she can't touch
She's
the floor.
more comfortable with the footstool. And this is the inside of theirs. So they have the browns. That's a little bit different color brown than ours.
Yeah,
I like
different.
that.
Mine's different than theirs.
I like that. And then
Theirs is too.
in the back they put extra carpet over that step. Oh, okay. So she added a rug.
Yeah.
A rug that covers this step up.
Yeah, because that's where people put their feet.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know how mine's got pins on it and I slide it over, go ahead now and then.
Now this is magnetic.
It's magnetic.
And when I get close to the trailer, it just sucks it in right there.
Well, and Marvin says the moisture,
Yeah,
you know,
that's it.
you don't have to worry about moisture and corroding and none of that stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a refueling thing. You could just keep going, never pull over.
So instead of the
Try it,
pins,
chill,
instead of the
fill
pins
up.
going in, they touch.
Just have the plane drop down and refuel. Just keep going.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about moisture or the pins.
Corrosion.
Corrosion, nothing. Yeah.
And even if you had corrosion, just buff it real quick.
So where do you get those?
I bought them from Marvin.
What's this box on the case? Yeah, what's the weight pin box?
Oh, that's my thermometer from inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got nothing to keep it in the shade where it's a false reading.
Yeah.
But when you get together with a group of owners of the same truck that you have, there's always conversation about things that you do and maybe things they do and things you didn't know to do. And
it's also a bunch of competition in it, whether we got a 112 or a 106.
He's yelling.
I'm yelling at Joe. He's sitting over here looking at us.
Joe's beside of us. Ricky's yelling over there.
You put the red on your center strip.
Easier to see when you're backing up.
He saw the red trucks and he thought he'd try and fit in a little bit.
So you could do that and then you'd have something
You can see
red
it
on
on your
yours.
camera. Yeah, just line them up.
They're all telling me that I need you know how I dumped air on it the other day?
Do what? When you dump the air out of your
You need the air dryer.
You understand, Mike.
So you need you need an air dryer.
No.
Oh, when you bag down.
Yeah.
Bagging down.
Dump there.
And then
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Dump
Bag down, dump there.
You peel off the decal. Yeah,
no, it's not a decal, it's a decal.
Decal.
It's a decal.
You peel off the decal.
Decal.
D-E-E-E-E-C-A-L.
Decal.
Decal.
Okay, yeah, how we
That'd
bag
be a sheet this week.
That would be a D-E-C-K-A-L.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so when you dump the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Now when I disconnect, when I pull forward, I dump the air.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, say
You just dolly down, and then you could just dump your air, bag down, whatever you want to call it, and you're probably clear just to and go.
Well, it depends on.
Sometimes you gotta get
Well, it depends on where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I just let mine air up, and then when I back up, I'm ready to go.
But now you're going to stay aired up all the time anyway, right?
So what kind of air pressure do you run in your
You see, that's where mine's different too.
What I do,
You line the
that
line.
mark is level. The trailer's level,
With that mark.
Yeah.
Well, it should be on your
here, right?
It should be on.
Yeah.
It should be on your gauge in there.
Yeah.
How much?
But I don't.
Explain to me,
Are you to
I don't
there?
look at it.
that mark is supposed to be midway travel of the bags.
Yeah. But on mine, it makes this one level.
Well, see, mine. It's got a level. It's got a valve on it.
Yeah, but it's a constant valve. Positive pressure.
Yeah, it's constant pressure on it.
Now,
I
why
don't
aren't
put
you
any in
running
and
a
take
ring
any out.
because of the grease?
Because with these, according to Marvin, these hitches require a small ring, not the ones they sell.
Oh, there's some of them.
You have to order the ring from Henson.
Yeah.
And I had a ring, but it kept falling off, so I said, heck with it.
Yeah,
You mean
when I first got mine, I had to
UHMW
find
ring?
it then.
The white ring?
Get it hitched up.
You don't use one.
But now mine's water.
I used to.
And why shouldn't I?
Because on these hitches,
Yeah.
the jaws don't close just right with a thick ring. Have Marvin explain it to you.
I can understand the concept.
Yeah.
Well, mine.
Which it boils
mine was
down
that
because
way.
they're not closing all the way with a thick ring. That means your clearance here in your gap of your kingpin is being thrown off.
Right.
See, we were having that issue that you're talking about, and then that's when we started. We started just going back to commercial, dolly down, bag down, and then put lots of pressure so it just goes. Like when you know when you hook up a commercial truck, it just drops that back end.
Yeah.
So we started doing that so we get positive because we were high hitching, and I pulled away, and that's when I did that damage up there.
Yeah.
Because there was a false lock, but I didn't know it had anything to do with maybe the nylon spacer.
Yeah, if
We're
you
not
don't-
running the nylon spacer.
If you don't use the Henley ring, it's not hooking up right.
Well, my hitch is different from his in that when you come up here, the jaws are on a straight bar. And when you go to hook up,
What's your hitch?
it's a Henley like these, I think, too.
Okay, so say
I'd
that
have to
again.
look.
It's got what?
We can walk down there and look, but there's a bar. When the jaws are open,
Yeah.
that bar comes way forward. When you hit that kingpin, it trips your jaws.
Right.
That bar comes back. And there's the safety pin here sticks out and prevents that bar from coming forward.
Well, that's what this does.
See it on my
Well, it should be in the.
And what I've always done, even when I was driving truck, you hit it in the big trucks. You'll see the guys. They'll leave the trailer brakes set.
Yeah.
And they'll pull
Hammer.
forward to
Yeah.
see if they get a resistance.
Yeah.
When I hook up, before I hook anything else up, I come back and make sure them jaws are shut.
Yeah.
I want to see them
And then you
jaws
apply your
shut.
trailer brakes and do a pull.
Yeah.
I won't do that yet.
I can't get my safety pin in. Or let me rephrase that. She can't get my safety pin in if mine ain't closed. But yeah, we'd already been to the
You and I had been to the factory.
to the factory. Thankfully for us, where we bought our DRV is only about 30 miles from there. So while I've had some work done, just minor things to the DRV, we've actually run up to Sport Chassis and had them do some things for us that
On the truck.
On the truck.
Yeah. So also, if you are going to Rolling Retreats to purchase your RV or just to look at some,
Or to have a flex armor roof put on.
and you're interested in a sport chassis truck, remember that factory is only about 30 miles away.
But on that note, they do not sell direct from the factory. You will have to find a dealer. Now there's I think maybe a couple of salesmen, but there is a salesman there.
Scott.
Buzz Scott. It's just
Super.
a super guy. He's just one of the nicest guys that I've run across, and he's a cowboy, but he's just a genuine individual that, from my perspective, now a lot of people, people has issues with things. I'll just there again, with our rig and all. I've said that before, and I'll say it again real quickly. we haven't had some of the problems some folks have had simply because of the people we bought it from. And Scott has helped me understand a lot of things about my truck that, as well as others. I mean, I learned things about my truck while we were there at the rally that I'm sad to say that I didn't know that I could use. You know, a lot of people, I'd never dumped. I mean, I knew it was there, but I just never dumped. But a lot of people dump, you know, their bags to hook and unhook.
Our bed's made a little different though. Ours drops down, so we don't have
to
dump the air
okay,
to.
I said my bed. Our bed was made for a gooseneck. I do believe. Well, I mean, it had horses on it. I think the original owners, you know, had horses, or ranchers, or you know, done rodeo, or just whatever. I don't know for sure there. But it does have the valley in it, and for me it's just a little easier to hook up because, you know, I'm short and, you know, it's easy to get in and out.
But yeah, we did have a really good time at the rally, and so like I said, in this video you saw where we went to the Sport Chassis factory, and then we have some at least one more video where we're going to show you some other fun things that we did at the rally. We went to a lot of museums, and we went to the really interesting was the Air and Space Museum.
Yes,
Stafford Museum. So be watching for the upcoming video, and then after the Sport Chassis Rally is over, we're going to go to the
HDT Rally.
HDT, the National HDT Rally in Hutchinson,
they're actually going to let us in. I will say this before I close my part of it. Just as anywhere, we made some lifetime friends there the week we were there, and very thankful for that. And we've hung out with two more, Jill and Keith from Canada, and we met a lot of others, and I won't mention names, but Jill and Keith, the reason I mention them, they just left us because they come down and run another week with us, and Joe and Anna, and just enjoyed the fellowship and the camaraderie, and we just busting one another a while ago, so that's the part I love about it.
But after the truck rallies are over, then we're going to take you back on some more adventures that we had, like I said, in Utah and Arizona. We did some motorcycle riding and we did some hiking, so look forward to that upcoming.
We do appreciate those that are following us along, and we'd ask you, to like and subscribe and make a comment. I mean, content is what YouTube's all about, or anything else really. So if there's something that maybe you're interested in, maybe make a comment. It does help if you do make a comment or just check like or whatever. It changes the algorithm. I can't even say it.
Do all of the
Do all
things.
above, as Todd would say. So we will catch you as we are
soaring together.